Alright, so this will be the first demo test video. We're going to use my machine. I'll go through it here. I may redo this one. We'll see how it goes. It was the first one, and like I say in the video, I'm really used to my machine, so I may not have been that critical on it, or maybe I'm not as critical as I should be. Steel over there on the floor. Some additional information about this machine. It's got a 30 to a 35 gallon fuel tank on it. It will run, you'll get a good 8, maybe 10 hours of doing dirt work on that tank with it. Just depends on how you're running it, if you're running the Harley rake on it or not, but you pretty much can get 8 hours out of this machine running it, doing dirt work or running a Harley rake. And so it's not, you know, it's, I guess in comparison to a 100 horsepower machine, whether it's an excavator or something, it's probably pretty comparable to those machines, maybe not as fuel efficient. But that's what this machine does. If you run a mulcher on it, you're down to about between 5 and 6 hours for a tank. So you're going through whatever that is, 5 times 6. If it's a 30 gallon tank, you're going through 5 gallons an hour. So you're probably, you know, 3.5 to 5 gallons an hour running this machine, whether you're running a mulcher on it or doing dirt work at about 3 to 3.5 gallons an hour. So that is the additional info on this machine. Alright, so this is going to be the first test. I've got about 20 yards of dirt right there. Now, it's not specific, it's not weighed, it's just me doing this for 12 years or 14 years, looking at it and saying it's 20 yards. It is exactly 20 buckets of this machine, which a heap bucket is about 1 yard. So it's got to be pretty close. For all these 100 horsepower machines, we're just going to go with the fact, the hope, that they're all going to have 1 yard bucket machines. If they don't, I will do my best to compensate to make sure that we always have 20 yards. This is going to be a good test. What I'm going to do is just time it, create a baseline, see how long it takes me to push this pile of dirt. I'm going to use a combination of slot dozing and just doing whatever I can do to make this dirt go away. Just push it straight over into that bank over there, make a nice pile on the bank. Then we're going to go ahead and just flatten this out as best as we can. Now, there's a hill up there, it's dropping over here. I cut this part out that I'm sitting on to be as level as possible. The other thing that we have to think about too is I run this thing all the time, so it's only going to be I'm going to be better in this machine than any other machine that I get my hands on. So I'll call it, I'm pushing this stuff uphill. We're just going to call that a handicap. I don't know what, you know, if it's really going to make a difference. If I need to go back and redo a baseline or change something, or if you guys have a really good idea that like, dude, you got to include this. I've looked it over all the comments and everything, and I've gotten some pretty good ideas on what to do. So we're going to go things with like how it just feels, how fast the machine moves, how I feel comfortably in it, how do I fit in it, who do I think, what size of a person could fit in it. As far as this machine goes, I've talked about it before. I'm 6'5", 240 pounds. You could be anywhere. You could probably be 6'7", 6'8". If you're taller than that, I think it's the wrong profession for you. A small guy might, if you're like 5'4", 5'6", short guy, you might feel a little, I don't know, might seem big in here. And then the other thing too, this has an air ride seat, so that's where you get a lot of your cushion at. The air ride seat has been awesome in this thing. This Kubota does not have a suspension track system like the Cats do or like an ASV does, so it's a stiff track system. I, at this point, prefer that, especially for loading trucks and digging into the dirt, into the bank. You don't get that flex and you can hold your grade really well. So personally, I don't like the suspension track system unless it's on an ASV and it's got the bogey rollers. It's not like a dozer undercarriage. I really do like those machines. Those track systems, I believe, are really good for fine grading, finish grading, because that's where these dozer track systems are not as good. They just tear things up easier. So you really have to make sure you do like a 16-point turnaround if you're on a nice lawn, or have your guy rake it out or whatever. So that's a long story, and And kind of the outline, what we're going to do, I'm going to time this right now. Also, as a note, this machine is a hydraulic over hydraulic controls, joystick controls, so the controls are much faster responding. You don't have any delay as an electric over hydraulic would be. However, I think with any machine, whether you're electric over hydraulic, one guy running it for a couple hours, if you're a good operator, will be able to get used to and adjust to how that system functions. So I don't think that that's going to be more of a personal preference, and I think something that you can get used to. So here we go. Breaking the action. We're at 2 minutes and 23 seconds. I'm going to come bring you in the 37. So we started at 223. Where do I hang this thing at? How's that? $253. Cut 30 seconds off of it. So. This test, I feel, can give a good example of, you've got trucks coming and you need to get the material spread out. So it'll give you a good idea on what you could do with a machine like this. Now the distance we're pushing the pile, I know this is crude, a very crude test, but it's a test. I'd say we're pushing it 30 feet. We're at 4 minutes right now. Pile is almost done. does underload when you're not, or as far as keeping it from stalling out. And this thing just doesn't stall out. It'll stop, but it has not ever stalled out. Also for this test, I'm keeping it in low gear, low range, low gear, first speed, whatever you want to call it. And I will do the same for the others. I think on one of the Bobcat videos I saw, man, I swore they were keeping the Kubota in low range while the others were just in their high range, or at least the Bobcat would have been in high range. That Kubota just looked like it was in slow range. So we're at exactly 5 minutes to move the pile of dirt. And we're just going to call that good. We'll hit one more pass here. Kind of smoother right out. Call it 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Less the time it took me to go out there and grab the GoPro. Now on this machine as well, you've got a hand throttle right here and the foot throttle down there. So I wouldn't have it any other way. I would want some type of hand control up here to where I can just keep it full throttle if I wanted, and then I want a foot control, because when you're fine grading or even doing this kind of stuff, my personal preference is having a foot control. So we'll call this the first one. I'm not really gonna, besides the time, I've talked to you guys enough about this machine. I own this machine, so there's a lot of reasons behind that. The price on these machines are about $75,000 MSRP, depending, 75 to 80 depending on how you have it set up. So that's the cost on the machine, which was a big factor in me purchasing the machine, and I was able to get the 0% financing. So it's a lot of factors right there. As far as dealer support goes, my dealer is literally like 2 miles down the road, and they are great. I can walk in, get filters, parts, pretty much anything I need. They're a pretty big Kubota dealer up here. So, and they've got a lot of excavators and construction equipment. So dealer support on this thing, we'll just give that a 10. I don't know, I don't want to compare anything, you know, dealer support's really good at Kubota for me. So nothing to worry about there. I don't want to gauge or judge anything yet. I'll have to do a follow-up video, but it's just kind of a test to see what you guys think about this. I could have set up some cones, done some different, you know, actually measured it, but I'll make sure I do my best to keep, you know, the distances all reasonably close to the same, and just give you my opinion and my thoughts on and how they feel on for you guys. So I think that'll be a lot more valuable and beneficial to you guys versus some company set up tests, because I watch those on YouTube and I'm like, I just question, I'm like, man, I just don't think that they're like, I think they're rigging the test. So it's test number 1. Thanks for watching, you guys rock. Check y'all later, making noise. So it's the first video. Here's what we got lined up for you this week. So far, very impressed with Bobcat. For you Bobcat fans, I have called a newer Bobcat dealer. It is about an hour south. We've touched base this spring, talked to them, and just never had really time to catch up with them. So they are giving me a T770 for a day. I'm gonna pick it up either Wednesday night or Thursday this week and use it at my place to, I'm gonna just flatten out a little parking area, or just fix it up a little bit. It should be better out back there. So that's what I'm gonna do there. So I'm excited about that. So far, I mean, hey, just sure, come use it. And I told them I'm not gonna buy it, but I want to demo one. So they're very cool about that. tomorrow, which is Tuesday, you may be watching this Tuesday, I don't know when this video will go up, we'll be demoing a Cat 299D and a Takeuchi TL12. I think that's the one, right? They're big, they're 100 horse machines. So we've got the Kubota. You're about to watch that. You're going to see that. Bobcat's going to happen on Thursday. We're going to do the Cat and the Takeuchi Tuesday, tomorrow. And it's a good start. So we'll see if I can get Volvo and case. But I'm pretty happy with that. So stay tuned, watch the video, let me know what you guys think, and we'll check you later. See ya.